Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we have to talk about it. I dropped one video. There's going to be two tonight. Dominican Republic Airbnb occupancy rates. I want to hear from you. I know there's some of you out there that are making investments in the DR with regard to real estate. I want to know what your occupancy rate has been over the years. Also, more rentals equals more money. How can you improve any Airbnb to make it, let's call it, return a higher investment by doing the little things? We have a lot to talk about, so come along for the ride. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Stop struggling now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for being here on this Monday evening, because you can be anywhere, but make sure, please share the videos, because the YouTube gods, social media shows no love, because what we deal with is common sense. We can't just do the cookie cutter. We have to talk about everything that can help you stop struggling now. And once again, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure, again, share the videos. Everybody on Instagram and other social media platforms, the Twitches, thank you so much for being in the house. Speaking of that, first up in the house tonight is Byzantine Red. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he says, we will struggle no longer. That is the whole point. That's why we have to start doing some things now. Invest in real estate, invest in stocks, invest in a business that's already existing so you know it gives you a return on your investment. Those are the three things that can get you started, because we need passive income, because the price of everything is going to continue to go up, because we live in a capitalist system. Corporations are designed to make more money. So how do they make more money? That means they always have to increase the price. It's that simple. It's not rocket science. You can call it inflation. You can call it whatever you want. But corporations have shareholders, so they say we need to make an extra 5%, 10% this year. That means they have to charge more for the same goods and services. They don't want to stay level. That's just for starters. Laverne Penix is in the house. Another investor is here in the real estate game. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to his name that I greatly appreciate. And he says his tagline this evening, hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. I received a notification and viewed the trailer. Thank you so much for that. I greatly appreciate it. And in case you're new here, this man here, he has a YouTube name in this YouTube street. It's known as Mr. Cool, ladies and gentlemen. He's in the house. And by the way, say hello to Mrs. Cool. I forget about that occasionally, but let her know SSN Nation still thinks of her. All right. Now, also, Victor Marrero, the new retiree. What do I mean by that? Not just from a business. No, retired for life from working. And oh my, he does have Airbnb rentals. I do know that. He also has stock market money coming in, otherwise known as dividends. YieldMaxETFs.com. Just go there, YieldMaxETFs.com. It's a good day to do that because the stocks that matter are down and you can get a great return, high risk, high rewards. Is it 15% high risk? Is it 20%? Is it 30%? Is it 40%? Is it 50%? You tell me. YieldMax ETFs, you got to go do the homework. That's why you get the pen, pads, and paper. And Victor Marrero, the retiree, has done all of it. And now he's getting ready to be Mr. Worldwide. going around the world. We're still waiting for that YouTube channel name so we can show some support. Let's go. Let us know before you go out in the world. I know how busy it's going to get, all these continents you're going to be going to. So he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, all. Let's do this. That's what we do, ladies and gentlemen. We get into the nitty gritty sometimes. Tonight's going to be nitty gritty. I dropped some Airbnb occupancy videos for the Dominican Republic. I know people are going to be like, are you kidding me right now, Eric? Because they're listening to realtors. They're listening to TV. They're listening to numbers that apply to hotels, not to Airbnb. So where do we have to go? We have to go to AirDNA. That's right. Or Airbnb statistics. I'm just saying. But since we're already in the game, we already know what it's going to look like down the road when we add another 1 million to 1.5 million visitors by air. Then you're going to have the necessary demand for the price increase for the condos and the villas and the townhomes, and occupancy rates rises. It's going to be a beautiful thing, but you got to be in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Marrero, once again, thank you so much for being in the house. And let's see, what else should I do? Oh, I have other things I need to do. I need to thank someone else that's in the house. Organization to the Rescue has joined us also, along with ATL 3371. What's happening, gentlemen or ladies? I don't know which one, but thank you so much on our other social media platforms as well. So now let's get into this, because you know what? I need to add my phone to some social media platforms. I think I'm going to do that one of these days. I'm going to start adding all of this in, because I still haven't gotten into the groove to do a video twice a day, live in the afternoon, which I should do. And I haven't dropped a video early morning, but it's okay. We still make things happen. Now, let's get into the first things first. Down below in the description box on YouTube and podcast, you might see SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. It's going to be December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. This will be the last one. Why is it going to be the last one? Well, I'm just going to tell you plain and simple. Because after December of this year and now, prices are starting to escalate. You're going to have to make a decision. When something like a 1-bedroom or a 2-bedroom condo is going to cost $270,000, $300,000, $350,000, well, in order to make that payment or make that purchase, you better have something already established, like 75% occupancy rate. You better spend the money to get the occupancy rate already in play. You can't buy cheap and move your way forward. You're going to have to spend money. And unfortunately, this is what's happening in the Dominican Republic. We have situations where now $250,000, $225,000, $300,000 are for condos. Villas are the same, and they're rising. And by the way, you can still buy condos or villas or homes or townhomes in the United States for $300,000. Let's get real. Let's get real. I mean, it might not be new, but I mean, you know, brand new, but it could be 5 years old, 3 years old, 10 years old. So why would you go across the water if you can do the same thing in America? That's the point. 4 years ago, it made sense when you can buy 1-bedrooms for $100,000, or not even that, 50, 60 grand. You could buy 2 bedrooms for $100,000. That made perfectly good sense. But what's happening now, the price increases from pre-construction projects and all of this, you're going to have to buy something that you should not buy. And what do I mean by should not buy? I'll give you a perfect example. There is somebody sent me something courtesy in the SSN Nation group, SSN Nation and Lifestyle group on WhatsApp. Please join. All right. I'll put it in now on the chat rooms, and it's down below in the description box, but I'll put it in the chat room so people can actually go there. I have to approve you. But the point is, somebody hit me up and they were like, hey, I'm looking at something called Periso Del Rey or something like that. It's in Verone. And I've heard about it, but here's the thing. If you're going to be in Verone right now, yes, it's going to be cheap. There's going to be a reason it's going to be cheap. You may or may not have, first of all, security. In this case, I believe you do have security. You may only have pools, which is what the case is here. And you're nowhere like in the middle of a city, so to speak, where you can just walk around and be like, hey, there's the restaurant, bar, nightclub, music, and all this going on. And the neighborhood is in a what you would call a C- neighborhood, residential to boot, versus you would be fine if you're going to live there. But what are you going to do if you're planning on renting it out, even though they're like $100 grand, 1,800 square feet, 150,000? That's still cheap. But all you get is your villa, which I shouldn't say all, but you get a villa. You live amongst other people that have villas. And then you have pools. And then that's it. It's just a residential neighborhood that's in a lower level area is what I would call it. It's in Verone. So that's fine. They're going to move up. Verone's going to grow. They're going to do infrastructure. I mean, it's going to take time, though. So you can get in cheap right now, but you better be planning on living there, because at the moment, if you plan on trying to rent something out, please check my part 3 video. You will see in part 2 even of the videos about Airbnb, you will see what actually helps you with rent, increase your rent that you can charge. All right. So there's certain things that you need, just like why occupancy rates are higher in Los Corrales than other places in Punta Cana. There's a reason, because you can walk to the beach. You can go to the restaurant, bars, nightclubs, casino, all within like 100 yards. It's there. So you don't have to do much. You don't have to get in a car and drive anywhere. You can just stay there if you want to. You never have to see any part of the rest of the city. You got money exchanges. You got laundromats. You don't have to leave if you didn't want to. It's that simple. Yes, they have banks there too. So ATM machines everywhere. I mean, you don't have to leave. So this is what we have to talk about tonight. Dominican Republic Airbnb occupancy rates. If there's anybody here, please tell me if you are a renter, an Airbnb host or VRBO host in the Dominican Republic that does short-term rentals or even long-term rentals. I want to hear tonight from you or anybody else. Joe Nay's in the house. He may know somebody that does short-term rentals, and he may have them come on. In the chat room. You don't have to come on live stream. But welcome, Joe Nay, to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon I greatly appreciate next to your name. And he says his tagline this evening: what's good, SSN Nation? How is everybody on this Monday? You know we're here, man. We show up, we show out. And that's why December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum down below in the description box. It's $199. We'll talk about that in a second. And he's talking about the Money Making Monday. That's what we do. We try to make you money, ladies and gentlemen. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry for pre-construction or new construction property. You'll need credit 2 or 3 years from now, unless you're going to pay cash for the remaining balance because you have payment plans. Usually now 20 or 15% down, 40% of the purchase price over payments, monthly payments of 3 years, 2 years, whatever it depends. So Joe Nay, thank you so much, man, for being here once again. He says, I got the notification and seen the informative Airbnb occupancy rates video, and I just smashed that like button. Thank you so much, Joe Nay, for that. I greatly appreciate that. Victor Morrell says, the 3 top rules for Airbnb: run it as a business. I like that. It's more than just an investment. Engage the customer quick after you approve the booking via direct messaging. Have a top cleaning crew and handyman. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. This is why you need to bring your pen, pads, and paper, because no matter what, the amount of information online are always missing the easy and simple direct approach, because this is how you start off the playbook. There's a playbook. If you really want to rent a high occupancy rate, first you need location. Second, you need one hell of a nice place in that location. I don't mean one hell of a nice as you got to buy the most expensive spot. I just mean it's got to be comfortable for your guest. If you want to buy a studio, fine. If you want to buy a 1-bedroom, fine. If you want to buy a 2 or 3, that's fine. But it has to be comfortable. It has to make sense. And I'm going to give some shout outs, which I'm not in a good way, but I'm just going to give a shout out because last night I started looking around. I was like curious about some other projects that are off the beaten path. And I ran into this Serena Village. And the reason why it was interesting is because they were talking about like $100,000, $75,000, $125,000. It was relatively cheap and expensive. And they were presenting it as like it is a massive, well, I shouldn't say massive. It's pretty big condo apartment complex. And I thought it was very interesting because I believe it's also like in Verona or something. It's in the middle of, whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is I look at reviews, and what do I see from the reviews? I see things like it's just generic. It just says, oh, it was a nice place. It was fine. It was this, that, and the other. And I thought it was weird because nobody ever says how far, like a review I look for is how far is the restaurants? How close is, bars, restaurants, nightclub, not so much. But you would think after there's 20 or 30 reviews, somebody would mention, hey, man, walking distance to the restaurant 3 minutes away, or you would get these little details versus 20 people are sitting there saying, oh, I had a nice time. Place was comfortable. Nice pool. I'm like, every place has nice, comfortable, and pool. What about the things that people need to know when they're actually coming over there? That's the type of reviews I want to see. None of them said anything about, oh, so therefore it's a sign to me that you will need a car or you need something. So all I'm saying is these are the rules. This is how you start it off, ladies and gentlemen. The top 3 rules, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Now, when you purchase, we have other rules. So what are we going to do? We're going to go into overdrive. Let's go. Here's what I want to do. Rough, ATL. Let me know, Rough. I can't hear you. Hopefully, ATL 3371, Rough. Tell me, are you doing, this might be who I think it is. Are you doing the rental in Dominican Republic, Punta Cana? Don Perrion has joined us in the Instagram group. I love it. Thank you so much. I love that name. All right. So let me know if somebody is willing to tell me if they rent in Dominican Republic, short-term rentals or even month-to-month rentals. Let me know your experience. Tap it in. Let me know. That would be greatly appreciated. Also, let's see there. Salute, brother. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. So we're going to get into it at the screen because everybody, well, not everybody may know. AirDNA. I put that in the number 3 video. And first of all, you have to start thinking about those are the top 3 rules after you buy, because you have to pick a great location. You have to pick a decent property, and you have to figure out if you're going to live in it or if you're going to rent it primarily. Those are the things you need to figure out. This thing about trying to go, well, I'm going to live in it, but I'm going to rent it, then that is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about short-term rentals mostly. Sure, you might go over there for a week or 2 or 3, but you're primarily renting. And I'm not talking about condo hotels because that's a whole nother ball game. Go check out the videos on condo hotels. I am not a fan of them, so therefore I may be biased. The reason why I'm not a fan of them is because the return on investment. You're traditionally going to be in single digits with no upside, because any upside you get will only come from when you resell it, and your resale is going to be lower than a condo that's across the street because they are not in a condo hotel. So there's a huge difference, because 50%, 45%, 55% taken off the top of the rental number, that's outrageous. So again, 0.1%. That's what we do here. If you buy something for $200,000, and you should be able to rent it for $200 a night or more. If you cannot, and you want to be in a condo hotel situation, just remember, you're going to be missing about 50% of that money that comes in. So you tell me. I don't even want to deal with the mathematics on it. So we're going to be talking about Airbnb, no condo hotels. All right? Just making myself clear. No condo hotels. Everybody, make sure you smash that like button and leave comments down below on the videos that I dropped earlier. All right, I just dropped one earlier. You'll have to check that out after this live stream, but make sure you smash this like button. Now, let's get into a few things on screen. You guys know I'm a fan of stats. I'm a fan of, first of all, speaking of a fan, okay, I talked about Oasis Lake. I have to show you guys something. This is getting out of control. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This project right here is downtown Punta Cana. Okay? Oasis Lake. It's at the Caribbean Lake Park. Owners pay $800 per year. Well, the first 2 years it's free if you own there, but I'm just getting to the point. $800 per year, which is roughly a little under $70 per month. You and your guests get to use everything at the Caribbean Lake Park. What's there? Water ski, cable pool, the tube puller that also on the lake, the jumper that you jump down and bounce people up into the water. You got the Sunday afternoon DJ foam party included. You got the Maroka nightclub, one of the hottest nightclubs in all of Punta Cana. That's included. You don't have to pay entry. You have zip line, rock climbing. There's a restaurant there. There's a fitness room that's going to be built for the complex, the Oasis Lake project. And there's going to be a pool there too at the complex, which is kind of weird. But nonetheless, you have locker rooms. You have restaurant, you have shopping, you have a little eatery place there. They added buggy rides. The buggy rides, though, will not be free, but you will have a discount because you're an owner there. Other people have to pay for buggy rides. People will tell me now $100, $150. People know when they go for a zip line and buggy rides, it's going to cost you $150, maybe even $199. So you tell me, if I can go use these services that cost people $100 to $149 per person for an all-day pass, 2 people is going to cost $250 or $300 just to go. So that means I should be able to rent at a higher rate because I actually have excursion type things already in-house. And so therefore, if I tell somebody $350 per night, it's included. Because now I can say every day you can go use these. I think people will pay that because they'll be like, hell yeah, I was going to go to the zip line. I was actually going to go over to the Caribbean Lake Park and use their facilities. And we have 3 or 4 people with us. That was going to cost us $400 for one day, not even all day. And then if we go back another day, if we wanted to, it's going to cost us the same amount. So then they start realizing, wait a minute, that's actually a deal. And now I got a restaurant here. I got a mini mart here. I can get food. I can eat. I don't even have to leave this place. And I'm still downtown where I can go to the Coco Bongo and the nightclubs and all that. Look how much it costs, ladies and gentlemen, now. Remember when they first came out? 170 grand. Oh, I'm a broker, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, for Oasis Lake, this is true. So I can, but look at these prices. This is a studio unit. Forget the 1-1 thing. This is a studio unit that sleeps 2 people. Sorry, that's Oasis Bay. That's not what I'm looking for. I was getting ready to say, this looks cheap. Hold up a second. Let me get to the Oasis Lake property. Hold on a minute. We got to do Oasis Lake. That's not even the right amount. Just a second. That is Oasis Bay, 180,000 for, that is a 1-bedroom. That is a 1-bedroom for 180,000 at Conarock. Okay, just to let you guys know. Now, here we are. This is Oasis Lake. Look at this, $215,000 for a studio. It's on a lake, yes. It has a jacuzzi at the bottom. It only sleeps 2. That's it. 2. All right. Now, look what happens when we go up to second story. $195,000 for the studio on the second floor. Can you believe this? So I can get 200 plus per night because we have excursions. So I can tell people, hey, every day you stay here, you can go to the excursions. And if you're here on Sunday, you get to go to the foam party at the pool. And yeah, you get to use those pools anyhow. And you can go to those bars and all that that's on the premises. And you can go to Morocco and all the other stuff. That's included all the time. So you can easily get 200 and something a night. Come on now. It costs people 200 plus per day to use Caribbean Lake Park just for 2 people. But here's the other thing. The top floor that can sleep 4 people is up to 255,000. Now, remember, this is a loft studio unit for 255. So if you want to start spending this kind of money, you can't spend 255,000 for a studio unit or a 1-bedroom unit just in an ordinary place, because you will not get $255 per night. You need amenities. All right, so let's get that straight. I just want to get that out the way, letting you guys know what's been going on over here. All right, this is not the only place that's increasing prices. So you have to understand what you're dealing with. All right, let's go. Now, let's get into the other factors, shall we? Because you guys know I hate when we're dealing with people that just listen. You have to do your own due diligence here. All right. I don't know why this is happening, but you got to do your own due diligence no matter what you're doing. You can get information from me, but for this one, this is going to be easy. I'm going to go here to, let's see where AirDNA is. Let's see if this is the one. Here we go. Okay, this is going to be on the eastern part of the island where Punta Cana is, Bavaro, Hige, Cap Cana. It covers Macau. It basically covers a large swath of land. This is La Altagracia. This right here that you see on the screen, though, this is from 2023. Do you see for the whole area, it says 36%. Can you believe this? Can you believe it? I know that was last year. But if you guys watched the video already, then you know what it is this year. And why did it raise up about 5 percentage points? I think you know. Because there are more tourists that have come to the island. They're breaking all-time record tourist numbers by air coming to the island every month. So therefore, if you have an extra 400,000 or 500,000 people, then that means you have more people coming per week. So that's how you can get to 41%. So how many people thought it was 80%? Because a lot of the realtors always tell people 83%, which we never talked about here. All right. Never. We talked 60 just to get a roundabout number. We've talked 50. We never talked 40. Occasionally we did, but not major. In the last 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, this whole year, I've been going to the 50% model because that's more aligned with what we're trying to do here. So if you know it's 50% occupancy rate, but now you know from AirDNA, 41% in this region of the island. Here, get a look. This region right here. Okay. You have the airport roughly right here. You have Meach here. I'm just saying, this covers the whole area. And of course, when you count the pastures, the farmers area, the stuff that hasn't been built out, these are going to be cheaper out here than closer to Punta Cana, right? Or in a bad neighborhood. All that's included into your 41%. All right. So just keep that in mind. Did I blow this? No, here we go. All right. Keep these numbers in mind. 58% is okay. That's not good. All right. How's this market performing? Okay. There's 4 sub-markets, which I'm not going to be privy to because I'm just on their free subscription or free login, whatever it is. So the 4 sub-markets makes it very, very interesting. But you guys can see for yourself what's happening. Now, look, there's only 5,273. That's it. Listings plus 21%. That means another 1,000, doesn't it? What is that? Or is that another? I think that is another 1,000. Yeah. So it was 4,000. Why is there more? I said this also in the video that there's more because there's more of these pre-construction properties coming online. There's more people that are buying the $150,000, 1,800 square foot villa that's in the middle of nowhere, thinking they're going to use it as Airbnb. Can they get 200 per night? I don't know. Well, I do know because I already went to Airbnb and nobody's charging 200 per night in that area. But will they be able to 4 years or 5 years from now? That's the question. In the meantime, you're taking L's. How much per year L's? I don't know, but it's not worth it to take L's. Now, also, if we're going to stay in this vein, let me see if there's anybody that's come into the chat that has knows somebody that's doing pre-construction. All right, I got the notification. Top rules. Joe Nay, here we go. Joe Nay says, spoke to a person who rents out their 1-bedroom, 2-bath, and Tropic Golf Suites, Vista Cana. I stayed there one time. The owner advised that they get up to 20% so far, even with the construction. Well, thank you so much, Jonay. This is expected. Vista Cana is still building. They still have their first man-made beach. They have their saltwater man-made beach made. They have a Yaks Lounge, which is right there. They have Vista Cana Beach Club is there with Volare, with another conference room, restaurant type of thing at their Vista Cana Beach Club with the pool. So you have some things already there, but it's not fully finished. They do have the 9-hole executive golf course complete, which is where the Tropic Golf Suites are. And here we go. He's sitting at the golf suites by the golf course, but everything there isn't complete. The second man-made beach, the sports complex, that's not complete. The equestrian center, not complete, but they started the horseback riding at the stables. Fair enough, but you got to pay for that. The walking trails and the cycling trails and all that still probably has to be worked out, but you're still close to downtown. You don't have the commercial zone where people have to shop or want to go get something. There's no commercial zone right now. There's also no shopping center at the front of the complex. So that won't happen for another 1.5 to 2 years. So now, in the meantime, the person has bought theirs at the lower price. They bought their, is this a Tropic Golf Suites? That's a condo. So they were able to buy their condo probably at, I don't know, 80, 90, 100,000. Maybe. Depends. If it was a 2-bedroom, then it would have been over like 120, 130. Can they get 130 per night right now? I don't know. It all depends on how they market it. If there's a golf course and I have golf course view and there is a golf course and you can use it, then I'd be marketing it as a golf course type of condo. I'd say inside Vista Cana on the golf course. And it costs 35 or 40. I don't know how much it costs to go out there. 20%. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Inside a pre-construction location. Come see us at VistaCon in about 2.5 years when you have the sports complex with the basketball court, the paddleball court, the tennis courts, the soccer field, the baseball field, the pool, the rock climbing, and the sports bar and grill. Come see us when they have that. Come see us come go to VistaCon when they have a commercial zone where you can shop and mini mart and do all that stuff on site. Wait till they have another additional restaurant from the second man-made beach, the second VistaCon Beach Club, which is going to be called VistaCon Clubhouse. See, this is why you buy early sometimes, but could it be too early? Nobody knew the pandemic was going to happen when 2018, 2019, 2020 rolled around, right? Nobody knew that. So that pandemic situation took off a year, year and a half, maybe even 2 years for some of these projects to regain momentum because they lost some of their immigration workers because of this. So it's now been a few years, but the point I'm trying to make is even without the delay, you'd be still in the same ballpark probably. But the ballpark will change in 2 years. So if you can live with the low occupancy rate right now, you'll make out like a bandit later. But the only reason you can live with the low occupancy rate right now is because you bought at the cheaper price. There's no way that he can buy at Tropic Golf Suites and pay $225,000 for a 2-bedroom unit right now. That wouldn't make sense because I know he can't rent for $225 a night or $230 or $250 a night. That's not going to happen. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The pre-construction party is over, says Jaway J. I don't know, Jaway J. There's only a few spots left. Speaking of that, 7 Palms, I keep telling everybody, across the street from the second man-made beach. That's almost like your last play that you're going to have, that you can be inside VistaCon across the street from the second man-made beach. And it has its own cafe, has its own pool, has nothing else of any magnitude. And you can get in for $120,000 for a 1-bedroom. The 2-bedroom started escalating. 2-bedroom penthouse is $199,000. And the 1-bedroom that's on like the second or third floor, they're like 130 to 146K. See these things. Oh, down below, if you guys want to check into any of these, SSN Lifestyle SRL on the island, that's my company. We can help you. Just go to the chat room or hit me up at support@stopstrugglingnow.com. We can get you hooked up. The prices are still appropriate, even though they don't include appliances. So you're going to end up spending an extra 20. Well, it's a 1-bedroom. So you're going to spend an extra like 10 to 15,000 for the appliances. All right. And you're going to need furniture. But since it's a 1-bedroom, you're only going to spend less than 5 G's. But nonetheless, it's going to cost you an extra 15 G's. That's why the price is low, but it's not 200,000. It's not, you will be able to get 160, 150, 140, because if you get the beach view room like you should, well, now you have something to talk about. Man-made beach across the street with the VistaCon Clubhouse Beach Club in sand, and it's twice as big as the first man-made beach. And there'll be restaurants there. Come on. And you'll have beach view, water views. That's a promotional item. So you should be able to get 160, 170 per night 2 years from now. Well, actually, it's not going to be complete. Well, yeah, completed until December 2026. So actually, call it 3 years from now, when there'll be an extra 1 million visitors by air. And out of that, 600,000 will be landing at the Punta Cana airport. And what I'm talking about is that means 11 million passengers for 6.6 million passengers by air landing at the Punta Cana airport. So now you'll have an additional, compared to today's numbers, roughly another 1.5 million people to rent to or landing at the airport, and potentially could be renting. Not all of them are going to be renters, but the more, the merrier. All right. Let's see what we got here. Jonay says they are not sure what their investment earnings will be once the condos around start filling up. Also, they have a manager that does everything. Co-host, more investment money going away. There we go. If they're not doing it themselves, then that means they're outing 20 to 25 or 30% is off the top from the revenues. Airbnb charges 3%. You might as well have just done a, let's just call it self check-in. What's wrong with that? And then pay 3% from Airbnb. If Tropic Golf Suites allows you to have an electronic check-in, and then you just get a housekeeper, but with Airbnb, you charge for the housekeeper $40. Simple. So you don't lose out on that. And you make them pay electricity. You don't pay the electricity in the DR, in case you're not familiar. But again, Seven Palms, I have a link down below to check out the brochure. They have phase 1 and phase 2, and it appears that it's on the same land. So it looks like this is going to be a very interesting project. But that's the last one that you're going to be able to get in at 130, 140. Other than you can do like Riviera Castagna, which the 1 bedrooms have now increased in price. The 2 bedrooms are now at 200,000+. You can do that. But Riviera Castagna is up the street from the second man-made beach, and you will not have a man-made beach view. The beach view is major. Pool views are major. We've talked about this before. So again, let's get back into this Air DNA. Let's see who else we have going on here. Oh, Joel Martinez. What's happening, man? Nice to see you. Welcome to the SSN Nation. Glad to see you in the house. Okay. Now, I want to point something out that shows on this list that people have to understand. Look at here. The property managers, the largest property managers in the La Altagracia area. I don't need to really point them out, but they're just showing how many reviews they have, how many units. Look, 148, 90, 89, 83, 58. All right. So home be like, so this may be what people like to do. They want to go with this group. The group says, give me 30%. We'll manage it for you, or 35. I don't know what the rate is for the groups, but they'll do the Airbnb, the VRBO, and all that. But here's what I want to point out. What amenities do listings have? It's not so much what the amenities the listings have. It's more like what they don't have. So what you should have is all of these. 100% should have wireless internet or wired internet. Air conditioning should be 100%. Kitchen, now that because you have a studio, it can't be 100%, but nonetheless. Parking should be 100%. Free parking. Pool, now I don't know what this is about, but not every complex has a pool. So here goes the thing. You need a pool, no matter how you slice it. That's standard. Washer, 80%, but here's a downfall. Look at this. Dryer, no dryers, 51%. This tells you you need a dryer and you need a washer. This should be a high rate as well. People visiting, that means they're going to be changing clothes. They're going to be going out. They're going to be going to the excursions maybe. They got all kinds of things to do. So they're going to change clothes. They need a washer, dryer. Cable TV, not so much. I wouldn't recommend that. I don't know how much cable TV costs. Heating, not necessary. Hot tub, not necessary. All right, just take it from me. Not necessary. Victor Morel will chime in with it, say it as well. Other people who have rental properties with hot tubs, I've rarely ran into anybody saying, man, I'm glad I got that hot tub for my rental. I rarely have run into anybody like that. It costs money to upkeep, maintain, and when it breaks down, it will break down if it's used a lot. All right, so just want to show you that, but we're going to get into something else as well, because Airbnb ticks, which is statistics, we're going to roll over. I'm going to roll that out to you. This is something that's different. I broke it out in the video part 3 earlier. It's different. You know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to do something different. Speaking of different, I'm going to make sure you smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Get your friends over here who's ever doing Airbnb rentals and want to do them on the island. Make sure you get them on this live stream or check out the live stream replay. no matter how you slice it. So here we go. I'm going to, let me hold on a second. Let me see if I have this. I'm just going to drop it for the heck of it. I think I can. The part 4, I'm dropping it while we're doing the live stream. So you guys can check out part 3. I made a 46-minute video about the Airbnb ticks. And I was like, man, I got to do half. So I did a 20 something on one. And I think this one's like another 20 something. So I made part 3 and part 4. So I'll drop part 4 while we're here, even though it may not be totally complete, but what the hell? Some more people might come and join us. % inside Vista Cana right now at Tropic Golf Suites, and apparently they have a condo instead of I'm assuming they have a condo and don't have the villa. So we will see. While I'm doing this, I can't do 2 things at once, but it's okay. I'm going to do something that's rare. While we're doing a live stream, I'm going to drop a video. It's going to pop up. It's going to be late night, but it's okay. We can do whatever we want, right? We're the boss out here. All right. Let's see here. Before I drop it, give me a few minutes. In fact, here's what I'll do. I'm going to do something else while we're messing around with that. I'm going to go, let's see here. We'll go here. Oh, yeah, why not? We'll throw this down. Some old school stuff that I used to do.
Land.
Why not?
There's no better time to buy than now, and no easier way to buy it than at the big public land auction coming to a city near you. You bid, you win, you're a landowner.
We were maybe $3,000 less than what we expected to pay, so we're very happy. Very happy.
Very. We got a great deal for 2.5 acres of land.
Hundreds of parcels must be sold, from city lots to 10, 20, even 100-acre parcels. Now you can get clear titled land at auction prices. Call to register now to reserve your seat. It's free, and you get the complete auction catalog. You don't need to be a real estate expert to bid.
This is my first time, and it was so easy.
I love to work with them, and this is the first time I'm being here, but I'm planning to come back more and more and buy more properties.
Check out the properties you like. Look at maps online and at the auction. Do your homework, then attend the auction and win.
Great property. It was 5 acres, and I'm planning to do a lot with it, but I want to buy more properties now. That's why I'm here.
Land auction buying power means no middleman, no real estate commissions, and it's an auction, so you set the price.
I walked in and it was super simple.
You can get property 20%, 30% below retail value if you actually went there.
Down payments as low as $100, and Land Auction has easy financing available right at the auction.
Land auction financing was no problem whatsoever, sailed right through the process.
I'm not going to recommend land auction to anybody because then I'm going to give all the good deals away.
Visit landauction.com to see our auction calendar. Get ready to reserve your seat and come to the public land auction right in your city. It's free. It's fun. It's like nothing else.
Landauction.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the wicked past. That's right. If some of y'all saw those landauction.com websites, that's one of the reels that played like every 8 to 10 minutes on their infomercial. Okay, let's see where we're going with this. Victor Marrero, he has something to say. Be prepared to have a lower occupancy rate the first year. Learn from your mistakes, then take corrective actions based on reviews. You will make it up after the second year, mostly with the returns. Victor Marrero, that's the way it works normally, because we already, most of us are in established areas. What happens when you're in a pre-construction, non-established areas for Airbnb? Like I consider New Frontier is Punta Cana, right? Because they don't really have the 20 million visitors right now annually, like most tourist destinations. They don't really have a difference. What I mean by a difference of all inclusives. There's so many all-inclusive properties that their prices, like I showed on Friday, you can stay in a place that has all I can drink, all I can eat on the beach for $250 to $350 per night. It's not going to be, one of the best places, but they might even have a little bit of music going on, entertainment. They're going to have things like that. So now we have two people staying in a place that costs $400 per night for all inclusive. So now the dynamic is, what's going to happen if I want to charge $300 per night? Will people say, hey, I'll just stay at the all inclusive for an extra $100 per night more? I'm only going to be here for 5 nights. That's $500. But see, I get water park, shows, all I can eat from 3 or 4 different places. The reviews look nice. So I'll stay there. You see, that's where we're going with this. We don't know the dynamics at play, but we do know this. You can't buy at $250,000 or more. And at this point, you're almost going to be shut out if you don't buy something under 200 right now. There's only a few places you can get. And I'm referring to 1 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms, and they have amenities. Vista Cana has amenities. All those at Larimar, if Larimar happened to come out and work and Cruise on Land happened to work, everybody's going to win because the properties, a 2-bedroom was 120, 130, 140. At Larimar, a 2-bedroom at Cruise on Land, fully furnished, 170 or 167 right now. This is what we're talking about. So those can win because they have so many amenities. You don't have to leave. And you have man-made beaches. You have restaurants, bars, nightclubs. I mean, you don't have to leave. You're like in your own little city. You got buggy rides at Cruise on Land. So if they actually come into fruition in about 2 to 3 years and they get something going, now all of a sudden you change the whole landscape. And yes, you will be able to charge people more out there because the people will start going, well, if I have all that, then why am I going to spend $500 or $600 per night when this guy's only charging me $250, $300? And you're going to be laughing all the way to the bank because you're going to be like, well, that meets the 0.1% daily rental rate. If I bought it for 140 and 140,000 and I can rent it for more than 140, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be at 20 to 25% return or better. Because if you're able to rent it for 199, you just went from 15 to 20%, from 20 to 25% annual return profit. That's how significant this is. That's why you can't go out here willy-nilly and go, yeah, I'll just buy something for 350,000. You better believe or know if you can get $350 per night. That's my opinion. Be prepared, like Victor Moreau has said. That's my opinion. Also, our Airbnb occupancy rates will improve as the economy and geopolitics stabilizes worldwide. Yes, but again, it's Dominican Republic. We're in foreign territory. So that's why you can't just say, hey, it's very simple. We're going to have more tourists than ever in 2 or 3 years. Every month we do. But 2 or 3 years, we'll get into that zone that I like, where it beats 100,000 per week average. We're trying to get to 200,000 per week average. That means we have to get to 10 million visitors by air to land on the island, and 60% of that has to still uphold in order for us to get the 6 million or 10 million is what we need. So that means we're going to need, what do we need? We need 14. Is that right? For 60%? You need 14 million by air, something like that. It's pretty close. It's a little under 60. So that's the only way we can get to the number we need. And that number, now it turns into what Victor Moreau is saying. Then rental rates and everything will be different because now the all-inclusives are going to charge, instead of $400 or $500 or $300, they'll be charging an arm and a leg. It'll be like the Hard Rock, $1,000 per night, $900 per night, $800 per night. Things will get out of hand. Then we can charge more for our Airbnb rentals. Stay tuned. That should be in like 5. It's going to take 4 years, I think, before they can get to 14 million passengers by air landing in the Dominican Republic. So we'll see if I'm going to be right. So far, we're right. This year, we're going to be in that 8.5 to 9 mil by air. Next year, 9.5 to 10. So we can get there. We'll be there in 4.5 years. So you got to buy low or it's game over. Game over. All right. I second that. What Yahweh J said, party is over, says Joe Nay. It's not over yet, Joe Nay. It's not over yet. Ladies and gentlemen, there are still places that you can get. If you stick with Vista Cana, you'll be fine. They still have deals there. You can still get an Urbe Lux if you want to. Studio unit, a little over $100 per night. At least this has the white line, things like that. So, I mean, there's still some things you can do. It just depends on what you're trying to do and if you can deal with the payment plans, if you have to. If you can't, can't, because now they're making people put down 20%, 40% during delivery. So during construction, rather, 40% during construction, 40% on delivery. Yahweh J, the pre-construction party is over. What does that mean? I think I missed the point. Yeah, I don't think it's over yet either, Victor Morel. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. It's only over if you just willy-nilly go do something crazy and say, well, I'll buy a 2-bedroom condo for 350 grand when you can actually buy a whole villa for 280 grand. I mean, that makes no sense. In a place that has man-made beaches and everything. For instance, Seven Palms again, 279,000 is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath villa. I mean, so if you're going to spend 250,000 for a penthouse unit at Seven Palms, then it kind of is like, well, for 3 grand, for 30 grand more, why wouldn't you just buy the villa? It's bigger and everything. I mean, it kind of gets weird, and you're still across the street from this man-made beach. Or you go to other properties that have amenities that cost less as well for villas. When you start getting above 250, it starts getting kind of weird as far as profits. So what's up, SSN family? Mo Better's here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Another superstar real estate investor and businessman in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline, what's up, SSN family? What's up, E? You know, we hard at work. Smashing the like been on the way in, button on the way in. I love it, man. Thank you so much for that. Make sure everybody smash the like button, share the videos, hit the follow button, hit the heart button, wherever you're watching from. Please, we got to show what we do here because the YouTube gods, social media gods show no love for the SSN Nation. No love for Stop Struggling Now. You guys got to know this. I'm not making hyperbole. It's legitimately, that's what social media is doing. Blocking a little bit. Mo Better. Hopefully Larimar doesn't turn into a condo hotel situation. Yeah, damn right, because I'll be bitching about that crap as well. But I will say this. Paradise Towers 1, they sold as a condo, just like all the rest. But I do know they have said Paradise Towers 2 is going to be a condo hotel. I'm just saying. So they have already some buildings. In fact, that was already kind of known. All 4 were supposed to actually be condo hotels because that's why they never sold that at the beginning. It was gone. It went to another company. They were supposed to make it into a condo hotel, and the guys were lying. They were shady as hell. The guys who were originally selling it was saying, oh, we have a beach club. Guess where the beach club was? I said, what do you mean you have a beach club? There's going to be a beach club made at Larimar. But he's like, no, some people want to go to the real beach. We're going to have a shuttle. And I was like, okay, so what are you talking about? What beach club? Okay, you might as well be going to the beach club at 365. Basically, they were just going to drop people off at a beach club that's free to go to anyhow. I was like, dude, are you joking right now? Why even waste the gas? People can just go there anyhow. They don't need you. And don't stop using that as an amenity. Come on, that was crazy. And then he says it was only our shuttle. So luckily that company's gone. But yeah, Paradise Towers 2 was always going to be condo hotel. And in fact, I think 2, 3, and 4 was going to be condo hotels. I just can't remember, because as soon as they said condo hotels, my eyes roll back in my head. My mind shuts down, because it's like, did they really just say condo hotel? That is some effed up mess. That's the whole reason why. So anyhow, I don't think highly of condo hotels. So yeah, it triggers me, because I hate when people are getting shafted at 50, 55%, 45% management fees. That's coming off the top. And then they say, well, we're going to take out a little for your HOAs, and we're going to take out a little out for your reserve of the HOAs, and we're going to charge you, that Amex card of 4% and the Visa card of 3%. That all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you only get like 30% of the rental, and that's not going to cut it. As far as, okay, if you want single digits, that's fine, but that's not going to cut it. Let's get back into some of the things I wanted to talk about, though. All right, Eric, I can see your point, but let me offer you this. Not everyone that comes to DR wants to do the all-inclusive. That is true. A lot of tourists want to do the local thing because of a budget or family preference. That is true, but you're right. That's what I'm looking at. And in fact, to your point, I agree with this, but to your point, here's how it works. So Victor Morel's a person that owns in a Margaritaville property. So he's got the best of both worlds: upscale luxury, high tourist location, and they get a higher rate nightly, right? But he bought in when it was pre-construction. So his counterparts who bought in later, they don't have the luxury of being able to have a 0.1% $300 per night rental rate. So whether it's $250, $300, $350, or $500 a night, which is what they charge in Margaritaville during high seasons, he's making out like a bandit. But he would not make out like a bandit if they bought now after him, where they have to pay, I don't even know what it is now, $500,000, $600,000 for the same type unit, I'm sure. They're not going to make out like bandits, because they have to charge $600 per night, and they can't charge $600 per night all year long, or $500 per night all year long. So that's the differences that I'm trying to distinguish here for everybody here, because that's the difference that's going to happen in the DR. You can't buy condos at $300,000 when right now they're only renting for $100 per night. You're going to have to wait a long time. And hopefully while you're waiting, it goes from 125, 150, 175, 200. But just keep in mind, if you have a 20, 25% management fee, if that's what you go, then now you have to have 25% more. And one other thing that's going to happen that a lot of people are sleeping on, except you here in the SSN Nation won't be, because the government, best believe they will add a tax to Airbnb VRBO rentals. Best believe. And if they do something ungodly like 18%, that's 20% gone off of your top bottom line, your top dollar line, actually. So if you are able to rent, which you will, if you're able to rent at 200, that automatically means 236 to cover the taxes. So if you buy a condo for 200,000 and you cannot rent for 200, okay, but 18% is going to be going to the tax man. So if you can only rent for 120, you're only collecting 100, and if you have management fees, you're down to $75. All right, so you got to think about this. So when they add tax, whether it's 5%, 8%, 10%, 15, or 18%, you're going to have to cover that, or you're going to charge more to make the profit. That's like tariffs, by the way. Let's cross over into business. That's what a tariff is a tax on the customer, which is you when you buy something from a tariff country. All right? That's how prices just go up. So that's what's going to happen down the line. So you have to prepare for this. This is why I have a rule about 250,000 or under. And you need amenities. And so condo hotels. All right. So anyhow, I just wanted to point that out. Victor Morel has a valid point, and actually, it is a point. This is what's going to happen. So, but you can only charge so much for all inclusives, right? All inclusives know how much they can charge. They know their full 80. What is their thing? 83% annually is what their occupancy rate is for hotels, all inclusives. And in some instances, they're at 95 to 100% occupancy rate when we start talking about January, February, March, and April during Easter, Holy Weeks. 100% damn near on the whole island. This is crazy. But when you go look at the Airbnb charts, those don't go up to 80, 90%. They're still 50, 40, 30 right now because you don't have enough people that's willing to just go stay in an Airbnb versus an Airbnb with amenities. Those are two different things. Make sure. Paul Castillo, just the man I wanted to see tonight. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with that icon next to your name, which I greatly appreciate. And he brings his tagline. Good evening, SSN family. I hope everyone is doing well. And oh, by the way, SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum. You go to ssnlifestyle.com to register. And good evening, family. I'll say it again. I hope everyone is doing well. Yes, Paul Castillo, everyone's doing well. Paul Castillo, I was just talking with you. Me and Mo were having a conversation, and I was like, hey, man, I think Paul Castillo is the one that told me up at Cruise on Land, he has building 3 or 4. I think he's in one of those buildings. And if I remember right, please confirm. I think you told me that that is no longer in phase 1 like they told you originally, because buildings 1, 2, 3, and 4 was supposed to be in phase 1. So please confirm. Let me know if I'm still correct or if they've changed it back. Let us know. Thank you. I appreciate that. Victor Morel, example, I could spend time at an all-inclusive resort in Spain, but prefer to live like a local to get the real experience. I don't think we should include our rentals in the same all-inclusive bucket. That's my point, actually, Victor Morel. If I've misconstrued it, that's my point exactly. You should not include it in the all-inclusive bucket. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. The point is based on price points. So what I'm trying to get you to, what I'm saying is this. You want to stay as a local, that's fine. But then I'm going to say this. You love staying at Hard Rock, for instance, right? If Hard Rock charged $250 per night, and you had your local experience that charges $250 per night, where are you staying? You can always leave Hard Rock to go get the local vibes, right? You can stay away all day. You can come sleep at night. But the fact of the matter is, all you can eat, all you can drink, shows, and everything else, okay, great. But I'm contending when a person has that choice, if prices are almost the same, I'm saying all inclusives win. And then you're going to have people like you're saying, okay, I'm not going to stay at the all inclusive. It's the same price. I want to get the local vibe. But now you're going to pay more from a family. You have to understand, right? So if you have 2 or 4 people, now you're paying the same price or close to the same price as an all inclusive. And now you're going to be paying for your meals and drinks and eats and everything else. That doesn't. So to me, that's how I'm comparing it. I'm comparing it as far as price points. If you start getting price points to be close to what the all-inclusives are, that defeats the whole purpose in my eye. That's what I'm saying. I just can't see any way around it. You have to have something that meets it. You have Margaritaville, and you know in high season that thing, you can rent that thing for $500 per night, right? There's a reason. It's in Orlando, ladies and gentlemen, a place where people can rent for $79, $89, $59 per night in a cheesy-ass hotel. So they do. But people are spending $500 per night to stay at Victor Morel's spot because it has all these amenities. And sure, people are still going to go spend $100 at wherever. But if all the places in Orlando cost $250, $300, Now all of a sudden people are going to be like, well, why am I going to do this? I got to go do all this stuff when I can just pay an extra 100, 200 bucks and stay here. That's what I'm trying to say. That doesn't help the people. Anyhow, let me know, because I like this conversation, because Victor Morell's been doing rentals as well. So I love this back and forth, because his views actually make it so everybody here can see the difference of how you think and how we think. Slightly different, but we're still trying to achieve the same goal. Paul Castillo, these condo hotel concepts sounds like you don't even own your property. Bingo. The management company owns everything to a point that you can't even sell your own property without their approval. That's sometimes in there as well. In fact, that is in there for cruise on land where you own. They get right of first refusal to buy it, and they get right to approve whoever you want to sell it to. That's one of the cruise on land things in their contract that I was like, are you kidding me right now? But these condo hotels, they're probably going to be the same way. I haven't even seen a condo hotel contract yet. I'm waiting on one, which is going to be very interesting, because you're restricted. You're not, you have to use the management company. Usually you have to have the furniture package. So everybody's just the same, unless you're buying at Kaya. They got this weird thing. I mean, I just can't believe it, where you can buy your own furniture. And I sent them a message and I was like, let me get this straight. So you're going to have the same guy that goes down and buys the IKEA furniture is going to be the same guy that you're going to be in the same rental pool as me, who has the Opin furniture from Joel. OPPEIN, ladies and gentlemen, for your specially made furniture. Let Joel know you're from SSN Nation. You put it to your specs. If your bedroom is 10 foot 3 inches long, you can have a 10 foot 3 inches background to your bed, king size bed, a desk built in and everything. You can create your own for pennies to me on the dollar. It comes in 90 days. You can measure everything. And I'm going to have my place that I'm going to rent out under a condo hotel situation, where the guy that goes down to IKEA that gets this particle board stuff, we're going to have the same rental rate? Are you serious right now? That's crazy to me. And that's a problem for me if we're in a condo hotel environment. If we're not in a condo hotel environment, then I don't care about the guy having that cheap IKEA stuff, because now we're in the open market. Now I can just say, look at all my custom furniture. Look at all this. I got a fireplace, a fake fireplace up in here. I mean, all kind of stuff you can do to make your place special, so I can charge more, because people are going to come stay at my place and be like, oh man, all the conveniences, everything was comfortable. We love it. There's something to be said with comfortable. I've got to get this off the screen, because we got to get into a conversation about this, right? Because there's a lot of people that do Airbnb. Comfortable. Let me explain. Why do some people stay at a Hilton, Hyatt, Marriott, and other places that even cost more? Specialty locations, if it didn't matter. Why do people pay more? Why doesn't everybody just stay at Motel 6? That tells you all you need to know. People are going to stay at Motel 6. All they want is a good night's sleep. They're going to stay at Red Roof. Then that the guy's good night's sleep. He'll leave the lights on for you, I think. But then why would somebody pay an extra $200 to stay at Hyatt? They're still in a good night's sleep. Maybe it has to do with service. Maybe it has to do with the way the bed feels at night. You never know, but the service is better. The accommodations are generally better, or always better than Motel 6. But the point I'm trying to make is people will spend more if your place is better. Same rules apply. All right. These condo hotel concepts, you're damn right, man. That's bad. Okay, Victor Morrell. We also have to think about the local tourism. Majority have spent plenty of time at all-inclusive resorts. They just want to get away from the city as a family, and they won't have that kind of money. That's my point, Victor Morrell. They won't have that kind of money. So therefore, you can't go out here and buy $300,000 for a 2-bedroom, and then you're going to rent it for 100, 150. You're going to be like single digits if you're lucky making money. If you do that, even at a 50% occupancy rate. Right now, in all of Altagracia and the Punta Cana area, it's 41%. That's it. The numbers don't lie. It's 41% occupancy. And I'm like, the 41% is an average. Some people are getting 50, 60. Other people are like Joe Nay's friend getting 20% occupancy. But no matter how you slice it, it's 41%. So I can't turn around on a pre-construction property and go, oh, yeah, it's going to be 75 or 80% and run numbers based on that. Because if I can't rent at a certain number, that means we're losing money. And that could be losing money for years. This is what happened with the lady that by Walla in Los Corrales. She, for the entrance to the beach area, across the street is a condo project. She bought her condo project at the hype of the 2006-7. It was $264,000, a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath. And you could see the water, the ocean from the balcony, from the living room, from the bedroom, clear as day. 264 because of the boom in 2006-7. In 2020, I stayed there. She calls me. I talked to her, but you guys know I was like, hey, she had a for sale sign. How much you selling this for? She goes, oh, all I want is $264,000. That's what I bought it for in 2007 or 6. I just can't remember which date it was. I said, yeah, but you can, for 264, you can buy 3,000 square foot villas at this time for that type of money. She goes, yeah, I know. And right around on the back side of where her condo is, people were selling 2-bedroom condos for 70 grand, 80 grand. And pre-construction was 100, 120,000, 130,000 for 2-bedroom penthouses. So there was no way she was selling that. It took her until 2023 to sell that unit. All she wanted, but she was renting it for the previous, 13, 14 years. And she was only renting it for $50, $60, $75 per night. That's how crazy this is. That's how crazy it is. So when you overpay, you're going to pay for it one way or another. That's why you have to be very, very cautious about how much you buy these for. Victor Marrero has Cana Rock. He now is going to win like a bandit at his Galaxy because other properties are charging that are building now in Cana Rock, like Poseidonia. They're charging $200,000 for a 1-bedroom, $230,000 for a 1-bedroom. That's how much Victor Marrero bought his 2-bedroom for. They're charging $300,000+ for a 2-bedroom at Poseidonia. Same at Atlanta right now. So now he's making out like a bandit because it's easier for him later if prices get up to $200, $230 per night and he's doing it himself. He's going to be in the 15 to 20% club and ROI. But the people who are buying these 1-bedrooms and 2-bedrooms for 300 and some thousand, if it goes up to 200,000, they're at an L. That's going to be an L annually, unless they're able to get 75% or 70 or even 60% occupancy. That's going to be, I don't really know how that happens, but if it does, that's what it's going to take. So that's what we have to look at. All right, we have somebody else here. Yael Dennis, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. I appreciate you being here. It says hello to you. Nice to be here. Thank you so much. I'm glad you are here. So make sure, just like Yael, smash the like button, everybody. All right, here we go. Victor Morrell says, our Margaritaville in Orlando is a good example. Although we're 6 minutes from Disney, we've had renters that could care less about the parks. Exactly. They just want to chill at the pool. They're clients for all. Exactly. There are. But notice they paid your rate. to stay at the pool versus there's pools at every hotel in Orlando, but they paid more to stay at your spot, is my point as well. We're talking like the same thing. There's clients for everybody. But if you had to spend $500,000 and you can't get $500 per night and can only get $300, that's a problem. And that's where we're at with DR. There is no established how much somebody's going to make yet. Hopefully it all turns out right. But again, we'll talk about that another day. Agree. If the price is too close, then it will be hard to compete with the all-inclusive. Yes, we're on the same page. Exactly. We're just going at it from different angles, but this is the conversation you guys hopefully need to see, because you can see there's different reasons why you're buying something and what you're trying to achieve. And you have to understand what other people are doing. What are tourists doing? Will they come to my place? And the answer is yes, they could. But why are they coming? Once you understand what motivates people a little better, then you'll understand why I have a fast rule. Amenities, 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 location, location, location. Because amenities, 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 I can be in the middle of nowhere, like a cruise on land, and have 100 attractions. People are coming. But I can't be out in the middle of nowhere and just have a condo and a pool and a park and a pet park. People aren't coming, and nor can I charge them what I should be able to charge them. So therefore, I can't pay for that place that much. So there's a whole different type of dynamics going on. So once again, here we go. Paul Castillo, here we go. He says, Cruise on Land, phase 1 consists of building 1 and 2. Building 3 and 4 is now in phase 2. Well, he didn't say is now, but he says building 3 and 4 is phase 2. My unit is in building 4, phase 2, and your building is fully furnished, right? I think it is. But I want to know, Paul Castillo, was I correct? Because as far as I knew, first phase was supposed to be buildings 1, 2, 3, and 4. So was that your understanding when you bought out there and they moved it to phase 2 is 3 and 4, which when is phase 2 even due? Because I know phase 1 is September 2025. So I don't know when phase 2 was ever. I guess it's another year later, maybe. I don't know. So hopefully you can let us know. Let's go. I hope Larimar doesn't turn into this condo hotel concept as well. It will be very disappointing. Man, man, you have an understatement. Well, let's just put things in perspective. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have to come to grips with, I'm not even thinking Airbnb is going to be done for years. But if we have to contemplate that it's going to be done, then it's not set up for condo hotels. The reason why I say this is because there's going to be a hospital, there's going to be a college, there's going to be golf course. It's not set up for condo hotels. If you're going to have colleges and hospital and things like that, school, I mean, that means people are going to live there. Now, that doesn't mean Paradise Tower 2 is going to be a condo hotel. So that doesn't mean that they're not going to put some condo hotel concepts within the building. I just don't know if they're going to put them inside when we get to Breeze Towers and all that, because that makes no sense when you have hotels already there. So I don't understand that concept at all for Larimar, even though they're going to do that. All right. Now let's get back to some numbers, ladies and gentlemen, because people want to know a little bit. Oh, hold on. We'll go back. Let's go look at some of these numbers, and we're going to go with Airbnb ticks. This ought to get you guys to understand a little more. Oops, can't do that. Hold on a second. Can't do that. Okay. Check this out. This is going to be where the rubber meets the road. Why? Because you can go to airbnbticks.com. That's Ocean Drive. Okay. Let's go to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Let's see what we can do here. Where's Punta Cana? There it is. Dominican Republic. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you guys want to see. Let's see the occupancy rate from Airbnb ticks. Here, in fact, this is a calculator. Oh, there we go. Okay, 46%. If you guys saw the video, I already went here. Here we go, Victor Marrero. Everybody else, I'm not like picking on Victor Marrero tonight, but since we had our conversation, that's why I use his name. But the point is, here's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in Punta Cana. The average occupancy is 46%. Nightly average rate, $127. I'm thinking people may now understand that you cannot buy a 2-bedroom if your nightly rental rate is only going to be on average $127 per night. And you're going to have less than 50% occupancy, but pretty close to 50%. So let's see what happens when this happens. I'm going to do something that's pretty wild. This right here is a $200,000 property. Okay, not 125, 200,000. And only getting 127 per night, which is a travesty. But nonetheless, that's what would happen if all you have is a condo and a pool. Let's face facts. Now, look, this looks good, 11% gross rental yield. But look what happens now, -4%. Why? Because at the end of the year, net profit and tax is estimated to be -$7,461. That's going to come out of your pocket. Why is this a thing? Here's the reason. It's taking into consideration. Let me go look. Let me go do this. I'm going to change this up because I was taking into consideration $200,000. Okay. So here we go. The actual deal. You put down 50%, right? Then that's 100,000 of the 200,000, right? 2 bedrooms are now 200,000 and up, right? In a lot of places. You put down 100,000, which is your 50%, 50% on delivery. On delivery in the DR means 10 years, 8.5%. Look at what happens. And actually, it's an adjustable rate loan after a couple of years, up to 5 years. I mean, it's fixed from 0 to 5 years, best case scenario. After that, you're in the double digits, 11, 12% adjustable rate loan. And no, you cannot get a mortgage in the United States for a property in the DR. Now you see, when we add this with the loan pack, look what happens. You're paying your negative $3,886. You guys seeing this, right? This is based on the 46% occupancy rate. You want to sign up for this? Then you overpay for something. Now, I'm going to show you something else, though. What happens if you were able to get, like our own George's Charles, $127,000 at Cruise on Land, fully furnished, and he has 40, 50, that's like 59,000, I think. What happens if he has to do this? Let's see what happens. He breaks even because he got the loan. And that's based on this factor right here. Now, will he be able to charge more than 127? Yes. They have 100 attractions out there. That's easily. You're just going to say, I have all this stuff, roller coaster, buggy rides, and, restaurants, nightclub, bar, everything. Seating over water with fire pits, a mini mart, all kind of stuff, 100 things. You're going to be charging more than 127 a night. I wish I can alter that. I can't. But all I'm trying to say is My look is I think they should be charging like upper ones. If you charge upper ones, now all of a sudden this changes the number. If you're able to charge 190, well, easily, it's a penthouse unit, by the way. So he should be able to charge like $200 per night. So if he's doing $200 per night, that changes the whole dynamics. And that's very interesting. 51% Punta Cana, $54 daily rate. See, Juanillo Beach, Cap Cana, $246. If you guys can see this down here. Nearby search activity, when you separate it into the subcategories, see what happens. Upscale luxury is Juanillo Beach, $246 a night for the same property. But that property costs you $200 and something for a 2-bedroom, or $300 or $400. So keep that in mind. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Make sure you smash that like button. So let's see. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm hoping so too, man. My understanding when I purchased was phase 1 was building 1, 2, 3, 4, but I was wrong. No, you weren't wrong, man. That's what they told us at the beginning too. It was supposed to be 1, 2, 3, and 4 was supposed to be phase 1. And so when you said you were in phase 2, I was like, well, then what building do you own? Like 5 or 6? They put those out already? And that's when you were like, nope, I'm in building 4. I think that's what you're in. So yeah. They changed it by 8-9 months. I don't know if that's going to matter, but we'll see shortly. We'll see in about less than 12 months what's going to happen. Are they going to have buildings 1 and 2 done? And how far along will they be on 3 and 4? The ultimate question. So they got to build all 4 like right now. They're going to concentrate on 1 and 2, but they have to start on 4 in order to get it done 8 months later. All right. So there you have it. Thank you for that information. But yeah, you're not wrong. It was supposed to be 3 and 4 as well. I questioned if they could do all 4 because of how they built their administration building, which is just open on one level with 2 models. That took them a year. So I was like, well, then how are you going to build 5 or 6 floors in a year? That's all, or 2 years is all I was saying. Didn't make sense. But nonetheless, now this is Airbnb, just what you see on the screen in the left-hand side here. You can easily see when you start putting numbers in, now all of a sudden you're just like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And now I'll do something different. I will drop this so people can see there's a difference. In unit sizes, the occupancy rate, check this out. Look at this. 59% for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. Not bad, but here we are. $98 per night is the average nightly rate. So you guys tell me. You see now, you can't really be buying 1-bedrooms willy-nilly somewhere for over $100,000 unless you have amenities or it's in a location that garners that, like a Cap Cana, like a Vista Cana, potentially, well, downtown so far can't garner that because there's no amenities downtown. But that's what you have to consider. How do you get the extra? I'd be willing to bet you at Cruise on Land, even though it's further away from town, a person staying there that has a 1-bedroom, I bet you they're going to be getting more than $100 per night. In fact, I guarantee it because there's a casino out there and everything. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there. So they'll be able to get more than 100 a night, even though it is way out there. So let's go to the screen. Numbers don't lie. Oops. Uh-oh. I think I messed up something. All right, here we go. Numbers don't lie. 59. So here we are again. The same rules apply. We got a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. Property price $127. Net profit $4,000 now. If we have a loan, keep in mind this is because we have a loan. This includes your loan. Look what happens. What happens if you have no loan? Now, 9% rental yield for a $127,000 purchase price. Not bad, but here you'll start seeing the point made. $100,000. Sorry, hold on a second. Are you taking a loan? No. 100,000. No. 1 bedroom, 1 bath. What's happening? That shouldn't be that. Taking a loan? No. Oh, sorry. That's zero. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. I was trying to figure out 10,800, but now we get, well, cash on cash return, whatever that means. 18. It's not 18%, is it? What do we purchase price at? Hold on. Oh, no, it's not there. It's at zero. Hold on a second. We have Mr. Cool. 79,000. No loan, 5%. Oh, no wonder, $98. So that's about right. 27% gross rental yield, 5%, but I'm missing something because we're going to gross 17,000 expenses out of 21. Where are they getting that number from? That doesn't even make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. This is off. They're adding other stuff. All right. Well, anyhow, seems a bit off to me. It's a bit odd. Studio. We'll just look at occupancy rate. Studio. Let's see. Anybody want to guess? Higher or lower than 59%? Low. Uh-oh, what's happened? Evman, Fitone. Very nice to see you on the Instagram. Henriquez, nice to see you, man. Hopefully you guys are seeing some of this. This will be awesome. Looks like I have a, oh, there we go. We're back. There we go. We're back. Okay. $14,000, 64%. It's more. Studio units, $108 per night on average. So once again, this right here is crazy. Why are we at 200,000? Studio unit, 100,000. That's what we want, right? Can you get one for that now that has amenities? I don't think so. Hard to find. So here goes numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Go to Airbnb Ticks and check it out. So I need to charge more. That's a 2-bedroom. Come on now. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, I'm on the wrong screen. 51%. I'm sorry, I was on a different screen. I was looking at Los Corrales. Has a 59% occupancy rate. No wonder that things weren't making sense. I was on the wrong screen. All right. So property price, annual expenses. $12% cash return. I'll live with 12%. Thank you. $100 per night. Let me ask you guys something. If I'm at the Wave and I bought something for 80,000, 89,000, and right behind it is the sports complex, and I can walk to a man-made beach and a freshwater lake beach, do you think I'm going to be charging $100 per night? Seriously. I think I'll be able to get more than 100 a night inside Vista Cana. I think so. Will it be 120, 130, 140? I hope so, because that would mean a great return. So here's the numbers. In fact, let me see if I can put this app in the chat room. You guys should pull this up. I'm online, but it's an actual app too. I just like seeing things a little better. So I put it in the chat room in several places. I'll do it here. All right, we have someone else. Phase 1. Okay, here we go. I don't think a loan in DR will help you with taxes in USA. You are correct. I may be wrong, but I don't think you can deduct loan interest charges on your taxes in the USA. No, you can't. I need to ask my CPA. Well, actually, Victor Moreau, yes, you will. The reason why I say that is you have two ways you can go in as an American. You can either do your taxes, returns, and everything for DR, and then in return, you write it off in the USA, right? Or you actually, as a United States citizen, you actually pay the tax for what you collect. So therefore, it would be a write-off. You follow what I'm trying to say, hopefully. So yes, you should be able to, but up to a certain point is my thinking. I'm not a CPA, so he's doing the right thing, talking to a CPA. Here we go. I bought a Primavera 3. I paid it off. Do you think it's a good strategy? No. I have to say it like it is. The reason why I say not a good idea to pay it off is because you have two ways to look at this. If you would have, okay, there's a couple of things with this. When you bought it Primavera 3, what did you buy? If you bought the condo, then that means you had to wait 2 or 3 years. If you bought a villa, that could have been 14 to 16 months. So it all depends. Because if it's a villa, then yes, cash would be fine. Because you weren't waiting around for 2 years or 3 years. Because that, if you buy a condo for cash and give them all your cash because you get a discount of 5%, you could have just put half of that money into a simple treasury bill and gotten 4 or 5% at one point and have the interest coming in to outpace or help you pay down on what you owe and still be liquid at the end of 2 or 3 years. So that's the way I look at it. But you have options. So it all depends on if you were short term or you're going to be 2, 3, 4 months or 4 years, 2, 3, or 4 years. That matters. Because why would you pay cash if it's not going to be built for 3 years? When you have 0% interest for new construction, pre-construction in Dominican Republic and generally worldwide. And so you would have pocketed that other portion, 50% or actually 60% of it, because you didn't even have to pay but 10% down and then monthly payments on 30%. So 60% of it. Let's just use this so everybody understands what I'm referring to. Let's just say I bought this for $115K. I put down 10%, so I would have only given them $11,500. And then my monthly payment, let's just say it was 30% over the next 3 years or 2.5 years, so 30 payments. So I would have owed $30-some thousand. So I would owe like $1,000 per month, roughly. All right. And then I would owe 60% on the other side. So 2.5 years. Now I put the money in a, let's just call it a dividend fund. Let's just call it a JEPQ, which gets roughly 10% annually, let's just say. So I'm putting the other, I don't know, but $1,000 a month. That's $12,000 a year. I only put out 12. So in 1 year, I only gave up 24,000. So let's just say I put 70,000, the rest in a dividend that earns me 10%. That's 7,000 per year. I'm only paying 1,000 per month. I'm paying 12,000 per year. You're getting all your money back in the next 2.5 years, potentially 3 years. You're going to have $21,000 plus, actually, but $21,000 that you received. So why would you pay cash? You just got 21,000 more. Is all I'm trying to say. If you had a condo and it's going to take 30 months or 4 years to build, then why wouldn't you do it that way? This is Money Making Monday, ladies and gentlemen. So that's why. But if you're going to have something built in 14 months or less, you don't have that luxury, so to speak, because you're going to pretty much in 1 year's time, you have to pay. And you're not going to, let's just use our example. You only made $7,000. So now the question is, when I told them I'm going to pay full cash, did I tell them I want a discount? Because I could have put this in the bank and got $7,000. So now they're going to go, yeah, we'll give you a $5,000 discount maybe. So that's basically how you end up rationalizing it if you're going to have it built in 14 months or less, 16, 15 months or less. There's no sense in trying to do it any other way. So now you're going to be sitting pretty, but what's your strategy? Are you going to live in it or are you going to rent it? Yeah. That's the biggest thing right there. Let me know. Let me know. Are you renting? And why did you pick Primavera 3? Besides Primavera 2, which is across the way. Well, across the way means it's probably 5 miles away. Or why did you not pick Primavera 4? The 115 is probably a 2-bedroom though, right? I believe towers at Vista Cana will turn condo hotel as well. I agree. You want to know why I agree? They never told anybody that was going to be a condo hotel, but it's not inside the gates. And they took away the hotel that was supposed to be where the business center is. So that's why I agree with you 110%. That I think one day after they've taken 6 years to build the damn things, or not 6, but 2019 they were selling it. So 5 years. And I don't think they're still done. But I agree with you. Because it has all the hallmarks of it's outside the security gates. It's not inside the Vista Cana proper. It's right by the Vista Cana Business Center where the shopping is going to be up front, walking distance. So I believe it all makes sense. And it's a shame if they do that and they are not telling people after being this late. 5 years. Still not done, as far as I know. So somebody watching might own it, Vista Cana Towers. I was going to buy it Towers. $89,000 for a 1-bedroom condo that was 1 bedroom, 1.5 bathrooms. Nicely furnished and nice. But didn't happen because I realized 2 bedrooms are only 20 grand more. 2-bedroom penthouse units were 30 grand more. So it was like, why would we do that? That's crazy. Because you make more money on the 2 bedrooms if you're inside the gates. So yeah, I kind of agree with you. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. I wish Leeson was here because I would like to know anybody own it. Any Noval property, Riviera Bay, Poseidonia. What's those? There's 6. In Cap Cana, Juanillo Hills. That's where Leeson owns. There's 3 I'm missing. What's the 3? I don't remember. So I got the 3, Juanillo Hills, Riviera Bay, Poseidonia. I don't know. Oh, something called Cove. I don't even know where this Cove Noval property is. Oh, here we go. Riviera Bay, Coral Cove, Poseidonia, Harbor Bay, Marina Bay, Juanillo Hills. Let me know if anybody owns in those locations. Let me know what you know about the condo hotels that they now are implementing with Aston. Let me know if you got the memo. We know Leeson got the memo because he was in the house on Friday night. I want to know what the details are because even I'm a broker for them. There's no information that has been released as far as the program. So hopefully that helps out. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if you guys have any further questions. Because again, I'm not going to run this for 3 hours tonight. I just wanted to show you guys the actual numbers, where to obtain them, where to get them. If you want to join our WhatsApp group, please do so. I have an announcement about that. When you join the WhatsApp group, you won't see any messages that were there previously. So if you see anybody commenting and you're like, well, what's that about? That's because, unfortunately, there's no way to turn it on for you to see all the correspondence that's been going on. When you come in, it's brand new. They don't let you see anything, unfortunately. So you can't even see previous projects that was posted. You can't see any previous deals, nothing. So that's, unfortunate, but nonetheless. Yayo, congratulations, Yayo Dennis, for getting your Primavera 3 at 115,000. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's going to be a 2-bedroom. Okay, here we go. Eric, would it be wise to get a HELOC out of your home and pay off your unit instead of getting a mortgage in DR with most likely high interest rate that you have to deal with? Yes. The answer is yes. Because if you can get a HELOC that's only going to be at 2 or 3%, that damn sure beats 8.5 or 9 or 10 or 11 or 12 or 13% adjustable rate mortgages. Because a lot of people do not realize even $40,000 at 10% is $400 per month. It's not like in America where you'd be like, oh, okay, 5%, $200 per month, 3%, no problem. I'll pay the $250 per month. But 12% adjustable rate at that for 40 grand or 50 grand, that's $600 per month. That starts getting chunky for a place that you potentially can't rent out except for a certain amount of money. So yes, a HELOC at 3%, 4%, and for that matter, any HELOC, because the HELOC is going to be below 8.5. The best case scenario is 8.5. Victor Morel, you can invest half of your YieldMax ETFs using your buying power, making over 1K per month. Good point. I didn't want to go that high, Victor Morel, but you're right. The other half against the property to lower your payment, but you need to pay it off within 5 years. There we go. There we go. That's it exactly. Yes, and the reason why he says 5 years is because if you get the right loan pack, you could do 8.5% for the first 5 years. Then after that, if you have mortgage left, it's going to be adjustable rate at double digits, 10, 11, 12, 13%. So that's where he's coming up with the 5 years. It's a thing. It's a thing, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully some of you have learned something. No, don't mess around with those banks if you can avoid it. So Paul Castillo was talking about, yeah, man, it might be just give me a HELOC. Get a HELOC, buy it outright. Or the remaining amount, pay the remaining amount, pay them back what they want. But yeah, now you can rent it out and use the rental money to pay the HELOC back, which is the way it's supposed to be. So, all right. We're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. If you have anything else you want to discuss, anything else you want to talk about, check out the last 2 videos, part 3, part 4. I'm discussing all of what you pretty much kind of heard tonight, except we went into a little more details. What I want to show you, though, is one last thing. Just to show people that on this Airbnb Ticks, we can actually go to other areas inside of Vistacana or Vistacana in Punta Cana. So let's see here. Check this out. This is what I was on. I was on a different screen when I was talking with you guys before. But here's what a studio unit with 1 bath, the occupancy rates, you'll be able to see them here. 60%. And if you had a studio with 2 bathrooms, the occupancy rate goes up significantly. I wonder why. The bathrooms matter. I've always told people this. The bathrooms matter. Apparently, now we only have 60%. Why? We had 64. Was it 64 before? Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Maybe something changes overnight or something. I don't know. But 60%, $83 per night. And again, 0.1% of the purchase price. As long as you buy it for under 89,000 or 90,000, you should be good. But when you start going into this 120,000 that they want now in Los Corrales for 1-bedroom units by Noval, 120, 130, 150, 149, 2 bedrooms, people want 200,000. These are existing projects. They're already built. So this is where we're going with this. Cash on cash return, 11%. That's interesting. I'll have to start looking into how they're calculating these things now that I'm looking at this. Rental arbitrage, monthly rent. We can't figure this out. But monthly profit, 1542. Oh, thank you. Now there it is. Profit, 1542 monthly. I think a lot of people will live with that if they don't have a mortgage. So that's where I've been missing the number. Okay. 6,000 a year with their metrics. You guys have to go study their metrics. Okay, let me know if anybody has any questions. Let it be known right now. And I want to thank everybody for watching. I want to thank everybody for listening. But please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And we know it's hard out here, ladies and gentlemen. You need to make extra profits. You can't rest on your laurels. You have to have money churning in the background. You have to have income churning while you're on vacation, while you're retired. You might have to make more money. The people that live in Florida right now who retired there 10 years ago are now sitting there in disbelief because of the price increases for insurance, their requirements, the property taxes increasing. They did not think that they're, let's just say $7,000 a month, they thought they were safe. HOAs, no problem if they have them, $400 a month. They're thinking, oh man, the insurance is only $1,000 a year. No problem. They're thinking no worries whatsoever about anything. But now when insurance companies say, oh no, it's $900 a year to insure you. And before we insure you, we want you to fix up your place, get a new roof, which could cost you an extra $50,000 to $100,000. Or you don't get insured at all. So you were living in peace. Everything was going great. And then the property tax guys go, hey, you know, your properties around here went up. So now instead of $1,500, you got to pay $4,000 a year in property taxes. And Victor Morrell will tell you, if he's still here, how much his went up. It's crazy. It's crazy. So all of a sudden, you got to pay an extra $10,000 to $15,000 per month. I mean, annually, and you're on a set retired income. Even retired income needs to have passive income coming in, because you don't know when this could happen to anybody at any time. This is not only happening in Florida. I just use that because you can Google and see it relatively easily what's going on. But it's happening all over, in Cali, in Tennessee, in Georgia, in Texas. It's all over. Arizona, everywhere. The insurance companies are taking less risk. They're leaving you with the bag, period. So before, they would let you get insured, and then when you come and try to get the insurance money, they would leave you going, we'll go out of business. Now they're going, we're not even going to try to get your business. We're just going to go with low risk individuals and have them pay more. That's what they're doing. So keep this in mind when you are thinking about buying in states or countries. Anything can happen. All right. So I'm going to wrap this up here shortly. And again, I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support over all these 5 years, but you need to tell more people about this channel, because social media does not. Doesn't matter if I'm on any form, whether it's on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebooks, it does not matter. Snapchats, it does not matter. TikToks, it does not matter. Okay. We are under the radar after 5 years, still after thousands of videos. And I don't know how many live streams we've actually done now, but if we do 3 a week for 1 year, that's 150. So there's at least 300 or 400 live streams that you can check out. And then I've erased some, which is kind of wild. And I've erased some videos, is kind of wild. All right. Yes, that insurance here in Florida is out of control. The problem is that many of the major companies aren't taking new policies, and some are just kicking you to the curb. It happened to me this year. Yeah, it did. Oh man, I thought they gave you some crazy number. I didn't realize that they gave you a crazy number and you had to go, oh, that's too much. But that is real crazy. Well, hell, you're in that high upscale luxury location. You know what they're going to do to you. Just what they used to do. Well, if anybody owns in an upscale luxury community, you guys know what happens. Let's just stop playing. You can call up somebody and say, hey, how much are you going to fix whatever the problem is? They'll tell you, well, the price is only going to be $250 to $350. Now, because they find out after you give them the address, they're rolling up there, they Google it and they're like, oh, that's the $1 million neighborhood. Let me, and then when they're pressing the button or trying to get through the gate, all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute. I told this dude 250 to 350. When they get in the house, there's all of a sudden that little job, that exact thing that they said they can do for 250 to 350 is somehow that'll be $1,000. I mean, that's how it works. So, with that said, having a little fun, but that's how it works. So, keep in mind this is also why you need some passive income, because wherever you live, whatever you do, you never know what's going to happen. And you never know what the businesses are going to do. Nobody saw this coming, what the insurance companies are doing, the property taxers, the assessors are doing. Nobody saw none of this coming. HOAs charging $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 a month. Nobody saw that coming. That's insane. But here we are after you retired at 62. And then you find out at 72, things are $20,000 more annually. That's insane. So therefore, this should tell everybody, make sure you are making money regardless of retirement. You have revenues coming in, whether that's stock market, whether that's a business you are involved in. It does not matter whether it's short-term rentals. Make sure you have money coming in, because you're going to have to make, in 3 years, you're going to have to make $150,000 household income or more. And the number we need to get you to is $200,000. So you can be comfortable, because you will not be comfortable making $12,000 per month. I hate to say this. And nobody's going to be comfortable right now. To get an apartment, in a luxury apartment in most major cities, you have to make more than $12,000 a month, because these luxury apartments are $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month. So you're already not comfortable in major cities. Wait till it spreads to middle class America, which it already has for the $2,000, $3,000 apartment rental. But wait till it's another $500 to $1,000, which will happen in 2 to 3 years. All right. I'm giving you the warning. You got 3 years. I'm retiring in 3 years. So you got 2 years. I'm retiring in 3. So we're all going to see how this Punta Cana and Dominican Republic pre-construction settles by the time 2027 rolls around, June 28th or July 4th. I can't remember the anniversary date, but that's when I retire officially from YouTube, after we add another 1,000 videos and get minimal views. We're still here, and I appreciate you guys being here. Okay, let's see what he's doing here. Interesting. I will try first Airbnb. If not working, I will rent it out. When I bought it in the area, was just a bush, but I saw the potential. Well, why? Okay, this is a 2-bedroom, right? I think you got the 2-bedroom. 2-bedroom, 1 bath, or 2-bedroom, 2 bath with the L shape, or which unit is it? Because this matters. Now, I will say something else that Yael Dennis did, that if he would have seen us 3 or 4 years ago, he would not have bought it Primavera 3. I have a video out by Primavera 3 that I talked about. The reason why Primavera 3 is not so interesting was because it doesn't have any amenities other than, I think it has, I don't even know where the pool is there. I know Primavera Luxury had a pool. Primavera 3 probably has a pool, maybe 2 or 3 pools, but they don't have anything else. It's secure gated. maybe 2 or 3 pools. I can't remember, but they don't have like the man-made beach at Primavera 4. They don't have. I don't think there's even a fitness there. Well, wait, there might be a fitness room, but even then, fitness room, and then that's it. The shop, you have to leave for everything. Everything. So they're supposed to have a commercial zone of some sort near there, but I don't exactly know if it's going to be right there off the freeway and they're going to have a little stores, but that's what they said they're going to do, put little stores there. But now you have no other amenities to attract people to stay there other than the price. And the price, if you bought it $115, we're trying to get $115 per night or more. Can we get that in that location? I don't know. Here's what Primavera was going to do at one time. If you're staying at Primavera 3, Primavera Luxury, they were going to allow you to go use the man-made beach at Primavera 4. I don't know if they ever changed back to that, but that originally is what they said. They originally were going to allow Primavera 3, Primavera 4 owners the use and their guests walk through the gates if they have to, ride the bike through the gates to allow them to use that man-made beach that's supposed to have a cafe at it and, some of the other amenities such as the basketball courts, the soccer field, the kids' playground, and fitness room is allegedly they're supposed to add too. So we'll see. But I would have preferred you get Primavera 4 if you were going to buy, because at least they have all those amenities that are there that can get you a higher rental value, I believe. We'll see how this all shakes out, though. We will see. Thank you for your information, Yo. My Florida homeowners insurance went up. What? 150%. I had to drop Progressive and go with a different company. Oh, my God. Double and a half? Jesus. So if you're paying $3,000, which I don't know what you were paying, but let's just say it was $3,000. Are you saying $4,500 more? That'd be 70. Good God. And he retired, ladies and gentlemen. So it's a good thing that he has passive income coming in, right? And he's going to have more passive income when his delivery of his condo happens. Wow. I was happy when they mentioned the Primavera 3 and 4 will be freely connected. Yeah. Is it? It's not. Hold on a second. You mean Primavera 3 and Primavera Luxury, right? Or do you mean Primavera 4? Primavera 3 and Primavera Luxury was supposed to be connected. But you're saying Primavera 3 and Primavera 4 is going to be connected? Then woohoo. Then that's a winner. That's going to be an awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, that means Yael bought at 3 years ago? I thought you meant you just recently purchased. If he bought 3 years ago, oh my God, he might have a type C. Yael, it's congratulations if you have a type C. That's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath unit. That's 1,500 square feet. They used to sell at Primavera 2 under $100,000 for that same unit. But that's at Primavera 2. That's no match for Primavera 4. But that's incredible if you got that price. That's what we want. He will be able to do a 3-bedroom rental for $115 per night or more with the man-made beach. If people aren't familiar with Primavera 4, they have a man-made beach. It's just as big as the man-made beach at Vista Cana that's sitting there now. They're supposed to have a clubhouse there, which it appears that might happen, which also means they're going to have a cafe there. They're supposed, and they have seating areas and cabanas around and palapa trees that you sit under. It's awesome. So nothing bad. I just have a bad thing with Primavera myself. But as far as being able to rent, if you own in Primavera 2, where everybody was able to purchase at this type of pricing and below, they're doing well because they can rent for $140, $130, $150, $160 per night for their 3 bedrooms that they bought for 90 grand, 80 grand, 102,000. Then it went up to 110. Then it went to 115. Then it went to 120 something. Now it's 170 for the 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath. If it's a type C, 180 actually at Primavera 4. Primavera 3 might be up to 170. I don't know. But congratulations. Congratulations. And congratulations that they're connecting Primavera 3 and 4, because that is a winner for everybody that buys for less in Primavera 3. Because remember, you can buy for less in Primavera 3 than it cost in Primavera 4. So now that is a somewhat of a hack. I love it. All right, I got to run, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to thank Yael Dennis for sharing. I appreciate everybody else for sharing as well. Paul Castillo, Marrero, everyone else. And I appreciate you guys immensely. But make sure I see you on Wednesday night. But on Wednesday night, only members with the icon are the only ones that can be in the chat room. Everybody can watch like they're doing tonight. But if you do not have an icon next to your name, you will not be able to be in the chat room. Just keep that in mind. That's another reason why you might want to become a member of the channel. That would be helpful. It helps financially. And I just dropped video number 4, which goes over the Airbnb's information as well. A little more, I take a little bit more time, but go check it out. It's not on a live stream. The live streams only have life for so long. So just keep that in mind as well. Make sure you share the video or share the other ones if you don't want to share this one. But all I can tell you is see you on Wednesday night, 8:50 p.m., Friday night, 9:10 p.m., and watch the videos, please, and share. Join our WhatsApp group. Join us December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Go over to ssnlifestyle.com and go check it out. That's where you can register. First few tickets are $199.99. We go see lawyers. We go see brokers. We go see a broker that does financing at the bank. We go allow you to sign up at a bank in a timely fashion, because generally it'll take you a month to get a bank account. We have a way where we have our connections with our lawyers and our brokers, the real estate brokers that can help us out. So you can come on Monday. Your paperwork is already going to be approved either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday while we're there. And you can actually open up your bank account right then and there. Why? Because you want to have an established bank account there if you plan on doing business there. Because people can pay you instantly. Unlike in America, all they need is your account number. If it's a savings or checking account, and your first and last name and your ID, whether it's a cedula, which is like a license, or whether it's your passport, they can send you money right now. No Zelle, none of that crazy nonsense. You just send it. They charge you 2 cents here, $2 there, whatever. But the fact of the matter is the person has it in their account. No interference. No body blocking. So those kind of things come in handy. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. And with all that said, make sure you stay safe out here, because you never know what somebody's going through. There's a lot of stress and duress going on right now, but you don't be part of the problem and help it get further behind the 8 ball by doing something stupid. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.